Hi guys, so today I want to talk to you about why you've been lied to about Ada Cardano and the truth. And let's run into it. So, before we get into it, I just want to tell you my story about Ada. I had a friend tell me to buy around this point back in the 2021 bull run. Didn't really understand much about crypto, but I bought it. I held it all the way and didn't know how to take profits. And I just held the bag all the way down here. I essentially doubled my money, but I held it all the way down. Didn't understand how cycles worked. But what I did do is I've continued to DCA and ADA all the way down here. Years. Stacked it. It's been my main holding because I believe it's got a lot of potential. And again, we started to see a resurgence, a narrative, a lot of development during this time, and now ADA is starting to make a move. And I want to come in here and kind of explain to you some disbeliefs about ADA, where I believe it can go, and why what a lot of people have been saying about ADA and the FUD is just unreasonable, and they've just been doing it to pump their own bags. But before that, let me just quickly explain to you a disclaimer. Please read this with care. This video is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile and highly risky. There's no guaranteed results here. This content is for experienced users only, and there's a full legal disclaimer in the description below. Alright guys, let's jump into it. So ADA, very, very, very interesting coin, and I'm going to explain to you why. So listen, ADA achieved a $3 price point back in the 2021 run. Looking at the market cap, it achieves almost a 93 billion, which is unbelievably high for an altcoin. Again, this price was achieved before ADA started on any of its kind of real developments. At this point, it was primarily speculation, and was very, very early. ADA had not done anything, and it did that pretty much all based on that. Again, at the moment, we've seen Hydra, we've seen the Bitcoin OS integration, and we've seen the Midnight stablecoin, the Midnight privacy coin, which is now starting to be introduced with an airdrop. We have actual businesses using Cardano. I'm not sure if you've seen, but Dubai police are actively using this as part of their work environment and their kind of infrastructure in place. The US government are now starting to have interest, and we'll explain more of this later. Institutional interest as well. Businesses are getting involved. ETFs are currently on the cards, and again, we're seeing this price was hit, the $3 ADA. Now we have the 562 million people involved in crypto versus the 300 million in the peak bull run. So we have so many things going for ADA. Again, look at this. I just want to say, before this recent pump that we've seen with ADA, so around this mark here, and as it's kind of had a little downtrend and starting to go up, we've seen people be basically talking a load of crap about ADA. So he said, yeah, ADA's a piece of it's very bad price performance compared to Solana, Sui, and Bitcoin, but etc. etc. ADA's sleeping. It's a dead project. I like it, but it's a disappointment. Blah blah blah. Dead chain. It goes on, and again, it's because people are impatient. We look at ADA for all this time. Nothing. We see other coins going at this time. Nothing. Out of nowhere, it explodes. ADA's just doing what ADA's done previously. It takes time, guys. Coins go at different times. ADA has got a massive upside potential. I just want to understand and tell you why people are doing this. Primarily to promote their bags, which is they might be talking a load of crap on it because they want people to sell it, so the price goes down, so they buy into their other coins and their coins go up. And again, it's their prerogative to some degree. A lot of people are doing it to promote their business, which I kind of understand, but it's not really a personal, I wouldn't really go about doing that at all. Again, just wanted to talk to you about institutional investment, which I briefly touched on earlier. Look at this. Out of all the top large caps and Bitcoin and Ethereum, this screenshot here is the Maturity Act, which has just been passed, and it will come into effect very soon. ADA is the only one here out of all the altcoins, bar Ethereum, which has been deemed as likely mature. Again, public POS with diverse validators, not a single holder over 20%. That's not really that important to you, but what you should understand is that the government have actively recognised ADA as a mature kind of investment. So no matter what you're seeing on X, about ADA being dead, it's not doing anything, it's sleeping. Just understand that people with a lot of money, institutions and the government, are actively seeking out ADA and understanding the real value. And again, looking at this, when we look at this, 4 main categories: made in USA, which is now a new one, mentioned by Trump, blockchains, projects that attended the White House, and ETF applications. ADA and XRP are the only 2 ones in here. ADA has been mentioned by Trump. I'm sure you've seen the screenshot. ADA is now part of the strategic reserve, which is unbelievable, and it's only a couple ones in here: XRP, SOL and ADA. I'm not sure if you guys remember the price, but earlier in the year, ADA shot up within one day, 63 all the way to $1.1, $1.12, which is unbelievable. Again, think about it. Why ADA? Trump's a businessman. He's not here to lose money. He obviously sees something in here, along with all the points that I mentioned before. You've got Charles Hoskinson, the key leader. Charles Hoskinson is also the co-founder of Ethereum. He knows what he's doing when it comes to this. So again, just wanted to mention this. ADA has so many things going for it, and a lot of people are discrediting it massively. Not many other coins are in here. Like I said, just XRP. Solana's not even in there. AVAX is not in there. Or ETH. Again, ADA's got setting up, and it's poised for an incredible bull run. So based on that, how can we really estimate the price potential here? So in my opinion, we need to compare it against the biggest altcoin that there is. Let's look at it. So for Ethereum, the peak of 2021 was 552 billion market cap. This was before any institutional investment. We look at where ADA is currently sitting at the moment, 32.5 billion. So with ADA at 32.5 billion market cap, if it was able to reach just half of what ETH did last run, somewhere around there, that would be a 17x from current levels. And that is after we've just seen ADA make a pretty explosive move over the last couple of weeks. So therefore, I think at a conservative level, a realistic price range is somewhere between $5 to $7 for ADA. This doesn't mean that I'm personally holding for these levels, but the profit taking will occur much higher than, it will occur much earlier than that for a lot of people, because I've been personally buying for such a long time. I'll scale out in a 20% chunks, which I'll show in a minute, but I also wanted to say it's not impossible for ADA to reach an $8 to $12 blow off top, but this would need to have the perfect market conditions. We'd need quantitative easing to be in place. We'd need Bitcoin to hit 250k and ADA to maintain a 4.5% market dominance. So how would we go about actually scaling out of ADA? Let's just run into it and use this as an example from last time. So if you were here, you were buying all the way back here, right? You'd have your numbers written down, you'd sell out in 25% chunks to make sure that you win. So an example would be cash out here, 20%. Then we cash out another 25% here, another 20% here, and then another 20% here. So by the time you've cashed out these 2 ones, you will already be in profit, because you'll make all the money back on your original investment, and then from here you will start to actually be in profit, and you cashed out, and then maybe you'd sell another 20% in this region here. What this does is guarantees you to win. We're here to win, guys. We'll cash out as we start to go up, and we can leave a 20% moon bag, because we made all the money on the way up, to just absolutely run it up. So it doesn't matter if you lose that, but that is the one where on that 20% you can make the most amount of money. So you need to work out what this is for you guys, based on how much you've put in and how much you're willing to lose.